Let's get this party started. Let's have a good time. Yeah, I'm glad, Landa. And let me go ahead and get the recording started here in the background. Perfect there. And then the YouTube recording is up. Perfect. All right. So like I said, my math party people, let me go ahead and bring this up. Perfect. And we're good. Yeah, we absolutely got this, guys. So welcome in, my party people. Welcome in, welcome in. My name is Coach Anderson, and today's agenda, like we said, is reviewing this arithmetic reasoning practice test that I released some time ago. So even if you didn't get the chance to go through the practice test yourself, don't worry. For a couple of problems, I may go ahead and just pause the screen, let you try it out, and then I'll go ahead and go over it with us. The first couple of questions, I'm just going to go ahead and do a straight blow through, but then some of the ones going through after the fact, I will give you the chance to go through them first. But today's agenda, like I said before, I'm only saying it again because now that we're recording, we're going to review the practice test questions. After every question, I'm going to go ahead and point out what you can do in the program to continue learning that specific question. And then again, I'm going to show you where I'm going to be housing the new course. And again, if you're in the program already, it'll be released for free to you sometime tomorrow morning, afternoon time, once we put it all together and have it public. So let's go ahead and get in there, my party people. Well, before that, remember this. When we go through each of these questions, we are going to be pointing to the arithmetic reasoning course. So in the chat box real quick, who's had a chance to go ahead and open the arithmetic reasoning course or even the math basics? Cameron, we'll see about that. Okay, cool. So I see a lot of us have had a chance to go in there. Okay. Cool. So let me go and take a second to show you exactly where you're going to find the extra materials that we're going to be going through, okay? So number one, let me go ahead and show you the arithmetic reasoning here. Everybody, let me know, can you see my background with the website? Cool. Okay, so this is what you're seeing if you are logging into the website anywhere around the date of March 2023. If this recording is being viewed by you at a later date, it might be slightly different, but again, as of March 2023, this is what it looks like. So once you log in and you're in the program, notice how it shows you the math basics, and that's actually going to stay there until you actually finish the math basics. So let me actually zoom in on that. This right here. Everybody, please write this down. If you're in the program, write this down. It is not recommended to do anything else for math except the math basics. Once you finish the math basics, then, hey, feel free, go ahead, attack a lion, do whatever you want to do. Sure, great. But again, the math basics is there to help you just completely dominate any and all types of just rote calculations. So learning regular numbers, decimals, negatives, fractions, order of operations, looking at solving equations, looking at unit conversions, like these things are absolutely necessary to learn, because if you don't take the time to learn it now, it's going to really haunt you while you're doing these word problems. Everybody, give me a response here. My question is this: have you ever done a word problem that you felt fairly confident about, but you freaked out because you saw a decimal or a fraction, or the calculations were just a little big for you? Have you ever been in that situation where the words made sense for once, but when you got down to the calculation, you started doubting yourself left and right, and you were just like, what the heck, man? I'm going to guess. Okay, so appreciate you guys being honest. That's pretty much everybody here. So the fact of the matter is this: when you think about word problems, listen to me carefully. When you're dealing with word problems, you're basically dealing with a problem in two segments. One, it's translating the English that you see into actual math. And then number two is taking the actual math and performing it, calculating it, solving the problem. It's two segments right there: the setup and the solution. Yes or no, everybody? Do you understand that in the chat box? Like, this is something that I got to be very, very, very clear about, very adamant about, because it is way too easy to get questions wrong, right? It's too easy to get them wrong. It's hard to get them right. So let's make sure that we understand how we can kind of separate this and give yourself the best chance. There's the setup and the solution. The math basics make sure that you are not going to flinch when it comes to dealing with any type of number or any sort of process. That's it right there. So let me go ahead and just hop off that high horse and hop on tirade here. Now let's go ahead and take a look at where you're going to be accessing everything that we're going to be doing today after the fact. And that is the Arithmetic Reasoning Bootcamp course. So when you log in and that's the only thing available to you after the math basics, you're going to click that. And once you click it, boom, there it is. Cool. So there's your Arithmetic Reasoning Progress dashboard. You're going to see a ton of X's right here. And that's simply because on this profile that I'm using, we haven't completed anything yet. So the easiest way to go about this is like this. You're just going to scroll down to the units that we're going to be talking about today. The first question that we're going to be doing is going to be in general word problems. And to look at the lessons and the practice that we have available to you there, all you have to do is click right there, Unit 1 Study Guide, Learning Activities. Click that, and it'll open the course for you. Once the course is open for you, you're going to notice that all of your activities are right there on the left side. So you're going to have your study guide, your word problem review, money word problems, your arithmetic reasoning test review, more word problems, casual practice, and alas, your Unit 1 checkpoint. That's what you're going to pass to get the stars that pretty much indicate that you're good on Unit 1. If you get 1 star, you might want to shoot for 3 stars. But you can get from 1 all the way up to 5 stars with a minimum of 6 out of 10 questions correct. And all of this that I'm telling you, it's all labeled for you right here. So notice it'll tell you 1 star means you got 6 out of 10, 5 stars, you got 5 out of 10 correct. And once you do this and you go back to the dashboard, this over here will replace the X's with the number of stars that you've gotten. So again, the arithmetic reasoning is exactly what we're going to be working on today, starting with the very first question coming up next. So before I continue, yes or no, my party people, does that make crystal clear sense? Miranda, got it. As we say in Spanish, clarito como el agua? Is that how you say it? Let me know, Landa. I don't speak Spanish that well. Is it something like clarito como el agua? Otra vez, yo no hablo español. Avísame. So just let me know. All right, cool. Sounds good. Obviously, I speak Spanish. I'm Dominican. So with that, let me go ahead and get this out of the way, and let's go ahead and have some fun here, guys. So here's number 1. And let me ask you guys before we begin, would you guys rather me let you try the problem out yourself, or would you rather me just go straight into it? Because I did see the large majority of us did not get the chance to go through the test. You want to try it out? Try it out, try it out, try it out. Let us try first. Okay, cool. And then I guess I'll obviously make sure I do a better job of announcing the practice test, getting it in your hands, making sure that I'll even try to send you like a picture via text as well. I'm going to try to do everything in my disposal to make sure that you have it. All right, cool. Sounds good. So for this first one, I'm going to give you a minute. Okay, for the first one, I'm going to give you a minute. Let me go ahead and bring my timer up. And then let me get the timer showing. All right, here we go, guys. 3, 2, and 1. Don't reveal the answer. Just type ready when you're ready. Sounds good, Stephanie. Thanks for the idea. And Damien, yes, it will be online. I'm going to be basically converting this practice test into an online practice test format where the timer will show up, where you get to actually select the answers. All of that's going to be coded on the website by tomorrow morning. It's actually already there, but I'm going to just clean a couple things up and make it available to you. Again, don't reveal the answer. Just type ready when you're ready. All right, looking at our final 4, 3, 2, and 1. So let's go ahead and take this problem apart, my party people. We got this. So time's up. Go ahead and put your answers in. If you were confused at all about it, just say you were confused, be honest about it, and let's go ahead and have a good time. So let me get this timer out of the way, and let's get to work. So On a scale of easy, medium, and hard, where would you rank this question, my party people? Okay. So I see that a slight majority of us say that it's easy. Some of us are saying medium. A little group of us are saying hard. Some of us are saying it confused me. So I'll take that as hard. Okay. Cool. So I'm going to show you how to do this question again. And I want to show you how to do different variations of this question because this one's actually a really convenient one. But if we change the number to something slightly different, it might change the way you look at it. So, everyone, let's take a look at this question here. What day was it 28 days ago? And we know that today is Tuesday. Okay, so did anybody here try doing this? Okay, cool. Today is Tuesday, so I'm going to put Tuesday, and I'm going to say that this is Monday, Sunday, that's Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Did any of us say that, okay, cool, today's Tuesday, and you started doing this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28. What day was it 28 days ago, guys? If I did it that way, I see a lot of us saying no, some of us saying yes. But if we did this, what day would it be? Gotcha. If we did that, yeah, that would be Tuesday, 28 days ago. That would be the answer. So, very quickly we have our answer to the question. But everybody, is that strategy always going to be effective? Is that strategy always going to be effective? No, it's too long, right? It's too long. Well, what if it wasn't 28 days ago? What if it was a much bigger number? Does anybody want to suggest a number? Give me a number. 42. That's still pretty easy. 200. I like 200. 454. That's a little demented. Let's keep it at 200. So let's go ahead and do, instead of 28 days ago, let's go ahead and say, what day was it? 200 days ago. Let's try that out again, everybody. So here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I quit. I quit my job. I'm going to no, I'm not going to do that. Why would I do that? So here's the thing, my party people. Have you ever been in a similar situation? Have you ever done a problem where it seemed really easy? It just took a long time like this? Have you ever done a problem that just takes a long time? Okay, cool. So let me go ahead and give you a nice little secret. Guys, whenever there's a problem that seems like it's really easy, it's just really long, a lot of steps, but it's super easy, I can guarantee you 99.9% of the time, there's going to be a shortcut that you can take. Let me show you this shortcut here. Everyone, here's the fact of the matter. We're dealing with a weekly calendar. What do we know about the number of days in a week? Right, there's 7 days in a week. I think all of us can speak confidently when we say that. So therefore, if there are 7 days in a week, that means that every 7 days, we repeat the day, right? So if today's Tuesday, then 7 days from now, it'll be Tuesday again, and Tuesday again every 7 days. So if we look at something like 28 days, well, 7 can go into 28. If we do this, watch. 7 into 28, that's a perfect 4. 7 goes into 28 4 perfect times, and there is no remainder. No remainder. Right? Now, let's take a look at that 200. Let's take a look at that. If we take a look at that 200, my party people, look at something very, very, very interesting that's about to happen. Very interesting. If I go ahead and divide 7 into 200, let's see what happens. 7 goes into 200 how many times? Well, let's see. 7 goes into 20 twice. Take away the 14. Got 6. Bring the 0 down. 7 goes into 60 8 times because 7 times 8, 56. So that'll be 8 right there. Minus 56. And we have a remainder of 4. 4 is the remainder. So my party people, here's what this means. Pay attention. Don't worry about writing anything with your pencils. Don't worry. This is going to be recorded. This is going to be on the website. You're good. What this means is that if you're trying to go back 200 days, well, you're going to go back 28 weeks because that's how many full weeks you go back. So everybody, you can actually ignore this because that's just going to put you right there back at Tuesday. But here you have 4 days left over or remaining to go through. Those first two, what is this? The first 172 days, or excuse me, 7 times 28, the first 196 days, excuse me, that's just going to be same day, Tuesday. But the last 4 days that you have left over, you start off on Tuesday and you go back 1, 2, 3, and 4. You don't have to count all 200. You just have to count what the remainder is after you cycle through full weeks. Does that make a little bit of sense to y'all? Great. So with that said, given that y'all are sounding oh so confident, we're going to go and try one out right now. So let's go ahead and say, let me move this over. We're going to say that today is Monday. Today is Monday. Now, notice how the question says 28 days ago, 200 days ago. I'm going to, instead of saying ago, I'm going to say, what is, then let's go ahead and do, what is 519 days from now? And I'm going to go ahead and give you the same amount of time. Let's see if we handle it with the same amount of grace. So here's the timer. Go ahead, give yourself that 1 minute and 4 seconds. Try it out. Type ready when you're ready. Exactly, Lambda. Exactly. And there's different questions you can do this with. You can do this with the number of, with the months, weeks. So today is Monday. What is it? 519 days from now. Let me go ahead. Let me actually delete all this. I don't know why that popped right back up, but technology. Just fix that right up for y'all. Perfect. So today's Monday. What is 519 days? What day is it? 519 days from now. So 3, 2, and 1. So that text converter that I used obviously didn't state this the way that I wanted it to be stated, but whatever. Today's Monday. What day is it going to be? 519 days from now. What answer did y'all get? Friday, Tuesday, Sunday, Friday, Tuesday. Okay, we're going to check it out. Let's see what's up. Saturday, Wednesday, Thursday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Okay, so there's a little bit of disagreement in the chat box. No worries. Let's go and try it out here. Everybody, here's how we want to think about it. Again, we're dealing with the days of a week. We know that every 7 days, we're going to repeat the same day. So if today's Monday, on day 7, it's going to be Monday, day 14, day 21, day 28, et cetera, et cetera. So what we are trying to do here is get rid of all of that repetitiveness. Divide it by 7. See how many actual cycles of 7 we go through, because that doesn't matter. That's going to tell us that we're going to end up on Monday, and then the remainder tells us how many days from Monday we move. So here we go. If we go ahead and start it right here, 7 going into 519. 7 goes into 51 7 times, because 7 times 7 is going to be 49. Great. That's a remainder of 2. Drop the 9. 7 goes into 29 4 times, because 4 times 7 is 28. So with that said, boom, 4 minus 28. And we have ourselves a remainder of 1. There's our remainder. So what that means, my party people, is if today is Monday, 519 days from now is going to be Tuesday. And that's it. The answer here is Tuesday. Is Tuesday, and we are good. Notice that I did not say 519 days ago. If I said 519 days ago, the answer would be Sunday. If it's 519 days from now, that's Tuesday, and that's why we got that. Yeah, I'm loving these light bulb moments, though. I'm loving these light bulb moments, and I really want to make sure that y'all understand that y'all aren't hopefully looking for just things to memorize. I want you to look for things to understand. Notice how that little bit of a change from ago to from now changes it completely. But the method, the idea is still the same. We're trying to get rid of that repetitive stuff of going through full weeks and just getting that out of the way to see in simple terms, how many days do we move? And that's it. So Zoom user, that's 74 right over here. So everybody pay attention. That's a great question, by the way. That's 74 right over here. All that tells me is that 519 days is 74 weeks plus one extra day. That's all that means. 519 days is a full 74 weeks and one extra day. And what did I say earlier? If I'm going through a full week, it doesn't matter because I'm going to end up on the same day. So you could tell me it's 1 week and 1 day remaining, or 5 weeks with one extra day. The divisor, or excuse me, the answer here, the quotient, doesn't matter at all because all that tells you is how many weeks repetitively that you go through. This is the number that matters, the one right there, because it tells you just go one extra day from the day that you're on now. Exactly, Zoom user. Exactly. And if there was no remainder, everybody, what would the answer be if there was no remainder? Hey, you're welcome. I'm glad you guys are asking these questions. Exactly. If there was no remainder, it would be the same day that you started on. So if I asked you for 14 days from now, 14 days is 2 weeks, same day. If I said 56 days, yes, that's divisible by 7. It would be the same day. Exactly so. So with that said, I know this is a very straightforward question for a lot of us, but do you see how we can solve this with a little bit of an elevated technique? And it's about something that you already know, remainders. You've been taught about that. You know that straight through. Now we're using it in the real world. Awesome, guys. I've seen this one in the ASVAB. Well, one just like it. Yeah, because they can switch this up on you. They can say, honestly, like I could say questions like, what day will it be this many days from now? What month will it be 30 months from now? What hour will it be 122 hours from now? You can ask any of those questions. Those are all the same type of question. This is called a modulus question. And all that means is it's a question that deals with a remainder. So one more time, this is a modulus question. This is a modulus question. It just deals with a remainder. And this is part of all the types of questions that you'll see in Unit 1. I'm going to go ahead and write this here. Unit 1 in the arithmetic reasoning, everybody. Unit 1. Right, for these types of questions, you use division to do the work quicker because you are free to count with your fingers, your hands, your toes on the wall. You're free to do whatever you want. But on the ASVAB, the point of it is to get the correct answer in the least amount of time possible so you can save time for the next question. So with that said, my party people, with that said, oh no, Landon, not at all. If we're starting on, like, let's say it's March and we say, what is it 30 months from now? You're still just counting months. You start with months and you're counting months. So let me just go ahead and show you one more time the background, everybody. If you want to go ahead and practice this, again, you're going to go to the Arithmetic Reasoning dashboard right there in your account, and you'll go ahead and scroll down to Unit 1, General Word Problems right here. And then you can click the study guide to see all the content for it, or you can click right here to do the checkpoint for Unit 1. Again, the checkpoint is a timed practice test just for Unit 1. so you can prove that you can do these types of problems to yourself before you're forced to prove it in front of a recruiter. So with that said, my math party people, let's go ahead and let's start practice problem number 2. Are you guys ready for it? And Keon, to answer your question there, if it was 31 days, what you would do is 28 days is 4 weeks. So you're on the same day, then 29, 30, 31. So 31 days is just 3 extra days from where you started. Cool. All right, so here we go. Here's the next one. Let me just take a look at it really quick. Excellent. So we're going to go ahead and give you 2 minutes for this question, and then we're going to review it right after the fact. So 2 minutes starting in 3, 2, and go. Just type ready in the chat box when you're ready. By the way, I'm loving the participation from you guys on YouTube and also from you guys in Zoom. Loving the participation. This is good. Perfect. And again, type ready when you're ready in the chat box. Don't reveal your answers. Do not reveal them. Please don't. All right, my party people, looking at our final 2, 1, and time. Let's go ahead and get into it here. What do we have for the answers? What do we have? What do we have? Whitney. Gotcha, Whitney. Yeah, go ahead and shoot me a text with that question. You're in the program. Go ahead and shoot me a question. I'll be more than happy to answer that for you. You're good. All right, Lewis, let's get this done, man. All right, so let me get this timer out of the way. So before we begin, just like in the previous question, I got to ask you guys, on a scale of easy, medium, and hard, where would you rank this one? And just because you see a bunch of people typing easy in the chat box doesn't mean you can't give your honest opinion. Nobody here is here to drag anybody down. If that's the case, they'll be removed. Don't worry about it. Just be honest. Let me know what you're feeling. So if we have a lot of easies, I got a medium here. Kind of forgot, but you do. Oh, I love seeing that. I love seeing that, Rashawn. You said you were a little confused, but you know that you're supposed to be comparing the same things in the same way. That's excellent. That is excellent. Because everybody, if you recognize that phrase, compare the same things in the same way, what topic are we talking about, everybody? We are talking about proportions. Absolutely. Comparing the same things in the same way. Classic. And I mean classic definition of proportions. So let's go ahead and write that down right over here. This is a proportion word problem. This is unit 2, proportions. Okay, so let's go ahead and go through this. Let's understand and really just, again, navigate how to do this the straightforward way, but also understand how to do this. If there's a shortcut to it, how can we do that? So with proportions, you guys just said it. Please write this down. This is the main piece of note that you're going to want to take down for proportions. So here's the main idea. for proportions, you want to compare the same things in the same way. Compare the same things in the same way. Boom. Right there, okay? Compare the same things in the same way. But regardless, everybody, regardless of what type of word problem you're dealing with, what's the first thing we always want to do? No worries, Whitney. Yeah, I got your question. Just shoot me a text about it, okay? Shoot me a text and I'm more than happy to help you out if I don't go over today's class. So with that said, yeah, the first thing we want to do is read the question. So right over here, the question says, hey, how many females are there? And the information says there are 20 males present. But everybody, are we looking for females or males on this question? Let me make sure everybody understands the question itself. What are we looking for? Males or females? Cool. I want to make sure that we're clear on this. We're looking for the number of females. Look at the question. Read the question starting from right above my big old head. It says, how many females are there if there are 20 males present? The 20 males being present is just extra information. They're attaching some information to that to give you a clue. But here they're saying, how many females are there? They're clearly asking for females. And so we have to write that down. Step one, what do we want? So let's write that down. It's all good. Again, Keon, this is all about being able to recognize what we're supposed to do, then get into how we're supposed to do it. So part one, what do we want? We're looking for blank females, and there are 20 males present. So I would say blank females with 20 males. So far, so good, everybody? Can we agree all together here? We're looking for the number of females. Sweet. Sounds good. Now, part two. Part two is we're going to go ahead and write down the information, collect our information, and let's see what we're supposed to do with it. Let's see what we can do with it, give ourselves the best chance of success. Part two, what do we have? Well, the information that we have says this. At a local YMCA, there are 10 males for every 55 females. Okay, cool. So with that said, let's write that down. We have 10 males right over here. 10 males for every 55 females. So if I write that down, if I write this down, one thing I need to make sure I do is recognize, with enough practice, you'll be able to recognize this. We're comparing the same things in the same way. Here's what I mean by that. Everybody, is it true that the comparison being made has to do with males versus females in a certain setting? Hey, right on, Rashawn. So the question is again, is it true that we're comparing males to females in a certain setting? Cool. Yeah, that's what's happening. That's all you need to understand that this is a proportion question. Notice that the first sentence talks about the relationship or the ratio of males to females at a YMCA. And the question asks you, how many females if we have this many males? So again, the comparison pops up twice. We need to make sure that the comparison is happening in order. Notice how when I wrote my information down, this is a classic, simple, avoidable mistake that a lot of people end up making. Notice how it says, we're looking for the number of females that were with 20 males. And then we have 10 males with 55 females. This is not going to be listed correctly if we want to compare the same things in the same way. It starts with females, then males. Very important, not right now, but when we actually set up the proportion. So what I can do here is this. Now, if you take a look, females first, males second, and you're good. Now you're good. And I'm going to go ahead and just put a big F in red for females. So Here's why that matters, everybody. When we set up our proportion, what I am going to do is this. I'm going to make absolutely sure that the comparison I'm making, again, fractions are comparisons. I am making sure that I am going to be putting females up top and males on bottom. Because over here, I'm looking for the F females. I don't know how many females that is, that are with 20 males. And I have to compare it the same way. Again, we're comparing the same things, males and females, but do it in the same way. Females up top, males on bottom. Over here, it's going to be females on top, males on bottom. So we'll have 55 females on the top, right here. And then the 10 males on the bottom. Yes or no, everybody, does that make sense when it comes to the setup? Again, compare the same things in the same way. Great. Sounds good. So up next, all we got to do is solve the proportion. Everyone, what's the classic way that you've learned how to solve proportions? What's that classic way? Exactly, Lewis. Cross multiply and then do what? Cross multiply and then divide. Let's go ahead and do it. Let's show you how to do it, and then I'm going to show you a really quick way to notice a convenient situation here. So f times 10, everybody, what's f times 10? Hit me quick. F times 10 is going to be 10f. And then we have 20 times 55, which we may need to take a second to go ahead and do, which I'll do right here. So 55 times 20. 5 times 0, 5 times 0. Then we'll put a 0 for the 2 here. 5 times 2 is 10. 5 times 2 is 10. Carry the 1 is 11. Add that all together, and we have ourselves 1100. Okay, sounds good. So with that, we have 10f equals 1100. And then the very last step, everybody, will divide, and we'll divide both sides by that 10. Once that's gone, everyone, 1100 divided by 10 is 110. So there were 110 females present at that moment at the YMCA. And there it is. And there's one way to do it. Now, here's another way to do it. Here's another way to do it. And there are plenty of ways to do this. But one thing you have to understand about proportions and math ideas in general is that you need to make sure you know the main idea before you know anything else. Everybody, that main idea is right here. Compare the same things in the same way. Watch this. Everybody, in the first sentence, we have 10 males. In the second sentence, we have 20 males. Everybody, what's that comparison from the first set of males to the second set of males going to be? What's that comparison? Are we multiplying or dividing by what? How do we go from 10 males to 20 males? Not with adding, but with subtract or with a multiplication or division. Using only multiplication or division, how do you go from 10 to 20? Remy, appreciate that, times 2. Trenton, exactly. Lewis, exactly. Or doubling it, exactly. That works as well, Jaylene. Exactly. You could double it or times 2. It means the same thing. Everyone, remember, with proportions, you're comparing the same things in the same way. So from the first sentence to the second sentence, if you're doubling the males, you're also doubling the females. 55 times 2 is 110, and you can get this problem done without putting your pencil to paper. You can take a look at it, a glance at it, and you can be done. Did anybody here do it that way? Did anybody here do it that way? Alex, right on. Kyle, Zoom user. Jaylene, Jessica, yeah, sounds good. After I set it up, sounds good. Again, there's plenty of other ways to do it, but for right now, remember, this is going to be Unit 2. For Unit 2, what you're going to do is nice and easily, you're going to navigate your way to, again, the Arithmetic Reasoning course, and what you'll do is nice and easily, like I said, scroll on down to Unit 2 Proportions. You'll get the study guide, or you can go straight into the speed drill, either way, and you'll see everything lined up for you. So lessons on how to solve any proportion. You have your study guide right here, obviously, taking you through everything, all you need to know. But then on top of that, you have all of your lessons over here, extra lessons, casual practice with video solutions, and your checkpoint. And remember, everybody, in case you didn't know, your checkpoints are an unlimited set of problems. This is going to help you prove that you know what you're doing. Remember what I said earlier? If you're taking the same exact practice test, there's no point because you have the same questions. So what I've done is I created a program and encoded all of this information in here that gives you different numbers, and it's all going to give you step-by-step solutions from start to finish. So all you're going to do is click ready to start when you're ready, and you're going to have all these questions ready to go for you. Oh, look at that. Doesn't that look familiar? And so you're going to go through there. You have all these different types of questions with wages, with ratios, with gender, with items in a bowl, to triple ratios like you see right over here, questions that I know some of us have trouble with. And once you're done, you submit the test, and it tells you what you got. Don't give up. You can retake it. This one I got 0 out of 10. I'll click feedback report, and it's going to give me all of the answers nice and easy. For the tougher questions, again, those medium to hard level questions, you're going to have a step-by-step solution lined up for you using the exact numbers from the question, writing it all out for you. So seriously, like if you're in the program, take advantage of this, because this is going to guarantee that you're not going to clam up and freeze up when you're being timed in front of your recruiter. Everybody, yes or no? Does that make sense? Do you understand how to find this in the website? Joshua, totally fine. Absolutely, totally fine. Keon, I'm glad you recognize the error. Josh, it's all good. I'm glad you guys are excited to learn. Yeah, and so one way that you can tell that you're ready for the actual ASVAB test is once you get, I believe I set it to be 50 stars. There's a total of 65 stars in arithmetic reasoning that you can earn. If you get to 50 stars minimum, I can guarantee you that you're ready to crush the arithmetic reasoning. You're ready to do in the upper half of all test takers for arithmetic reasoning specifically. If you get all 65 stars, I know for a fact you're going to blow that thing out of the water. For a fact. Dominic, you're on 49. Well, there you go. So with that, let's go and take a look at this next question here, my party people. Perfect. All right, I'm going to give you 2 minutes to do this next one here. 3, 2, and sorry, trying to get the timer up. There it is, and go, my party people. Next one, give it a shot. 2 minutes. So if the question isn't loading while that's happening, that could be a connection issue. You might want to clear your browser's cache before continuing or refreshing it. So if you know how to do that, do it. If you don't, shoot me a text and I'll walk you through how to clear the cache in your browser. I got you. So go ahead and try this one out, everybody. I'll be right back. I'm gonna get some water. My voice is already giving out on me, and give it your best shot. And quick question, my party people on YouTube. My party people on YouTube, can you guys hear me? All right, and time is up, my math party people. Time is up, time is up, time is up. How are we feeling about this one? Let me go ahead and put the timer away. Let's get ready to have some more fun, guys. So, in your opinion, this one here, easy, medium, hard. How did you feel about this one? How did you feel about this one? Hard, mid, medium, bad with a broken heart. Man, mild, hard, mid, medium. I hate feet in inches. I mean, a lot of people hate feet. So then Maria, medium, hard, medium, mid. Nobody here thought it was easy? No. Okay, there you go. Some people thought it was easy. All right, cool. So let's go through this. I'm going to go through this with a little bit more of a pace, but I'm going to point out the common mistakes that people make and how you can avoid them. So first things first, we're going to go ahead and just take a look at the question. What are we being asked to figure out, right? What are we being asked to figure out? How long will each piece be? Okay, cool. Now, this question is pretty short, so how long will each piece be? Okay, how long will it be? Whatever. Let's read through the information and let's hopefully figure out what we're supposed to do. So here I see that it says a string of yarn 7 feet and 8 inches long needs to be cut into 4 equal pieces. Okay. A string of yarn this long needs to be cut into 4 equal pieces. Right there, let me highlight that. Everybody, what does it sound like is happening? We're trying to cut something up into 4 equal pieces. If we have to translate that to math, what does it sound like we're supposed to be doing? Yeah, division. Absolutely. Absolutely. We're dividing. And if you don't believe me, just think about it like this. If I said, hey, Coach Anderson has, Coach Anderson has $75. He has $75 and he needs to divide it equally or split it up equally amongst his 25 students. We're dividing. We're dividing, right? We're seeing how many ways, if we split it up into 25 people, how many does each person get? Or how much does each person get? And that's what's happening here. So here, if we're starting with 7 feet and 8 inches of yarn, we're cutting it into 4 equal pieces. To find out how long each piece will be, we have to complete the division. Now, there's 2 ways you can look at it. One way people will try to do is 4 goes into 7 feet, 8 inches. Another way might look like this, where some people might say, 7 feet, 8 inches divided by 4. Some people try to do it like that. But here's the thing. The thing is, what you need to notice is this is a unit conversion problem. Everybody, if I divide 8 inches by 4, I get 2 inches. That's awesome. But if I divide 7 feet by 4, is that going to be clean? Is that going to be clean, my party people? No, that's not going to be clean. So here's what needs to be done. Here's the fastest way to get this done. It's going to be to, number 1, convert everything to the same unit, inches. When in doubt, make it the smaller unit so you can actually get the bigger number and divide cleanly. So step 1, convert the 7 feet and 8 inches to only inches. Then step 2, you're going to divide. And step 3, you're going to convert everything back. Convert back to feet and inches. And that's it. And that's it right there. So with that said, everyone, how many inches are in 1 foot? How many inches are in 1 foot? 12, absolutely. So knowing that fact, 1 foot equals 12 inches. What we are going to do is we're going to go ahead and say, hey, since we have 7 feet, everybody, 7 feet, 7 times 12 is what? 7 times 12 is what? Who knows? 7 times 12, what is that going to be? $84. A little scared it took us that long, but we got it. So yeah, that's going to be 84. So 7 feet, 8 inches to only inches. 7 feet is going to be 84 inches. And we still have the 8 inches from earlier. So everyone, quick question. What's 84 inches plus 8 inches? What's that going to be? Right, that's going to be 92. I'm going to circle this in the same color. I'm going to circle this in the same color. So we know that 7 feet turned into 84 inches. Then with the 8 inches that was already there, everybody, yes or no, agree or disagree. Together now, this is going to be a total of 92 inches. 92 inches. Excellent. Sounds good, sounds good, sounds good. So now what we're going to do, what do we say? Well, after we converted, we're then going to divide. And once we're done dividing, then we convert it back to feet and inches. Sounds good. Let's go ahead and do it. Let's divide. Step 2. I'm going to go ahead and take purple over here. And I'm going to go ahead and do 4 into 92. Well, 4 goes into 9. That's going to be twice. And then we bring that 2 down. 4 goes into 12. That's going to be 3 times. So we have 23 as the quotient, as the result when we divide. So we're going to write this down right over here. 92 divided by 4, that's going to give us 23 what? Everybody, is that 23 feet? Is that 23 feet? Yeah, 24 inches, or 23 inches, excuse me, 23 inches. 23 inches. Now that we have that, we're going to convert that back into feet and inches. Why are we converting it back? Look at the answers. Do any of those answers say 23 inches? No, they do not. So this next step is absolutely necessary. We do need to finish the conversion here. So what we're going to have when we convert it back into feet and inches, we're going to see that we're going to do 12. Whoops. We're going to do 12. We're going to divide that into 23 to see how many groups of 12 we get. Remember, every group of 12 is a foot. So how many groups of 12 can we get? That's going to be feet. And then the remainder is going to be the leftover inches. 12 goes into 23 exactly 1 time. That's 1 foot. We take away the 12 and we got ourselves 11 remaining inches. So my final answer is 1 foot and 11 inches. And that is our final answer right there. 1 foot and 11 inches, making B the final answer. You guessed it. Hey, nice. Again, if you're taking the test for real and you take a guess and you get it right, congratulations. That's good. You don't really want to be proud of getting something correct with a guess on a practice test. You know, that's not something to be proud of. I mean, it's cool to see. It's like, yeah, I'm lucky, but can we repeat luck? Everybody, is it easy to repeat luck? Right, not at all. It is not easy at all to repeat luck. And so what I'm really doing as your coach, as your mentor, is making sure that you don't suffer from an inflated ego when you start seeing that you're getting streaky for the wrong reasons. And Damien, I know you know this. I've been coaching you up for a bit now, but just want to make sure, keep you grounded. I got you. So there it is. We are set there. Perfect. And so with that, just want to point out Unit 3 as well, everybody. Again, in the program, I'm going to do this quickly so I can move on to the next one. What you're going to do for this one is Unit 3, unit conversions. That's where you'll find it, all right? Unit 3. And so with Unit 3, you're going to see a lot more than just feet and inches. You're going to have time conversion problems. You're also going to have these classic problems that you may recognize, which is something like this one. Who recognizes a problem like this, where you're dealing with shipping an item that weighs a certain amount? You got to pay a flat fee for the first X amount of weight, and then there's extra weight that you got to compensate for and pay for. Who here recognizes that type of question? Who recognizes that type of question? And no worries, everybody. That person just got removed. Don't worry about that at all. That person already got removed. And same thing with Julie. Do not open that image. Do not open that image. Let me go and get that person out of here. Nice and easy. It's all good. I already got their IP addresses too. I'm going to forward this over to the police. Don't even worry about it. They're gone too. Yeah, just don't open that picture. You're good. That's scam. Cool. So, boom, they're out of here. Don't worry about it, guys. Again, it's trolls. But yes or no, guys, do you recognize this type of question where, again, they give you that weight? All right, cool, cool, cool. Got this person right here. Give me 2 seconds, guys. Got some losers in here. And all right, they got nothing better to do with their lives. Cool. Looks like we got all of them there. I know. Next time it happens, just drown them out with love. It's all good. It's all good. Cool. So with that, back on task here. I'll make sure to cut that out of the recording for y'all. Yeah, no, it happens. It happens. It happens. So with that, are we good on that though, everybody? Are we good? Yeah, go ahead. Take a screenshot if you need to. This is going to be Unit 3 of the Arithmetic Reasoning. Unit 3. Cool. All right, so let's go and get into this next one here, my party people. I got y'all. Let's get into this next one. Back at it. And let me get the timer up. And then 3, 2, and 1. Try this next one out. Go, 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 go. Notice that they might start feeling a little harder and a little more difficult as we keep going. Hey, no worries, Jaylene. Give it your best. You got it. Yeah, we still got time, guys. Don't give up until the time's up. Don't give up until the time's up. And that is time, my party people. That is time. All right. So take a guess if you need to. Take a guess if you need to. Or go ahead and just let me know. Easy, medium, or hard on this one. How are you feeling? Easy, medium, or hard? A lot of mediums. Okay. Kind of lost on how to do it. Okay, cool. So to make sure that I've hit all of these questions in time, because we are on question 4 right now, I believe. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, we're on question 4. So to make sure that I can get through the other 4 and the remaining 40 minutes that we have left of class time, I want to make sure that I'm going to go through again what you should be looking out for in this question, the setup and the solution. I'm not going to be reviewing the actual the nitty gritty of the calculation. Again, I'm going to point to you where to go ahead and find that practice in the courses, but I want to show you how to get this one set up and started. So basically, when it comes to percentage questions, you got to be very, very attentive to what you're looking for. So right over here, it says, what percentage discount did Stephanie receive? So the one thing that I'm going to point out here, my party people, the one thing I'm going to point out is this. When it comes to percentages, this is unit 4. And the main rule about percents is this. The main rule. The percent that you apply is the result that you get. So write this down. The percent you apply, is the result you get. Right there. The percent you apply is the result that you get. So everybody in the chat box, type ready when you have that written down. The percent you apply is the result you get. Cool. So here's the formula. One of the ways you can look at it, there's a few different ways you can look at it, but one of the more popular ways is like this. The percent times the original equals the result. So the percent, let me actually make this a little smaller over here so I have a little more room to write with. But the percent times the original equals the results. And like I told you guys, the percent that you apply represents the result that you get. Like, this is as clear as I can state this and as easily as I can lay this out. This is how you can check your work in real time. Like, do I have it or do I not? Do I understand what's going on or do I not? So here, everybody, what are we looking for? Give me in one word or one short phrase, what is it that this problem is making us find? Right, we're looking not the amount of the discount, the percent, the percent of the discount. So what we need to say with a strong tone here is say that we are looking for the percent discount. So everybody, quick question. If I'm setting up this formula and the percent that I apply and the result that I get represent the same thing, what do I need to plug in right here? If what I plug in for the percent is the discount, what is the amount that I need to plug in for the result? No, not the total amount, not the paid amount. Not the discount percent, no. Not the original price, not the percent amount, no. Not the listed. Ricardo, right there. We want the discount amount, because if the percent that we're looking for represents the discount, then the result that we're going to plug into the formula needs to also represent the discount. Does that make a little more sense there, everybody? So again, this is the amount of the discount. Again, the percent that you apply is the result you get. So boom, boom. These two things represent the same idea. I need to make sure that we understand that, because in every single percent problem that you do, that's what matters the most. Hey, I'm glad, Kai. Yeah, keep practicing, man. You got this. But that's the main thing about that formula. The percent that you apply represents the result that you get. One of them is in the form of a percentage. The other one's in the form of an amount, but they represent the same thing. They represent the same thing. So with that said, here's how I'm going to set it up. Okay, first of all, everyone, what's the original amount? What's that going to be? What was the original listing price of anything here? $54, right? It says right here, originally listed at $54. Was listed at $54. Hopefully that's not terrible to understand and comprehend. Cool, sounds good. Now here, again, we're looking for that percent, so we're just going to leave that as is. Then next here, the results, we need to represent the amount of the discount. Well, everybody, my quick question is this. If I originally had it at $54, I paid $35.10, how do I find the discount? How do I find the discount? Dominic, my man. Yeah, we'll go ahead and subtract here. We're going to go ahead and subtract to find out what the amount of the discount was. So with that said, we'll go ahead and take $54. We'll subtract the 35.10. Boom. Right over here. And let's go ahead and solve. Obviously, we're going to have to do a little bit of a boom, do this. 14 down to 13, down to 10, 9, and 10. I know that seems really confusing. Skip the boring math part, math basics for you. But this is going to end up being, well, actually, don't even need to do that. That'll just end up being 0 here, 9 there. That's going to be 8 right there, and that'll be 1. So 1890 is what we have. Now that we're here, we're good. That's the result that we're going to be applying because, again, this is the discount amount. Let me make sure I'm clear about that, guys. This is the amount of the discount. Real quick before I continue, does that make sense, everybody? This is the amount of the discount. Making sure we got that down. Cool. Yeah, you can definitely plug in the answer choices, but I want to make sure I show you the straightforward way because if you know both methods, then you can determine for yourself, hey, which one's going to be faster for me in the heat of the moment, right? But if I only show you the answer choices every single time there's a problem, then it's not really going to be the most responsible way to teach you. So with that, we plug this in, and that's going to be 1890. And now all we have to do, everybody, is this. If I want to find the percentage, all I got to do is divide both sides by 54, and I'm done. So now that we're good, again, these both represent the discount. These both represent the discount. I'm going to divide both sides by that 54 to get that by itself. So once we're here, we cancel that out. My percent equals whatever that's supposed to be. And I can go ahead and do this on the side here. 54 going into 1890. My party people, quick question. 54 goes into 1 and 0 times. 54 goes into 18, 0 times. How many times does 54 go into 189? How many times does 54 go into 189? And if you want to guesstimate, think about 50. How many times would 50 go into 189? 50, 100, 150? 3 times. It's not that terrible. Not that terrible. We can definitely get something out of that. So that'll be 3 times there. Minus, so 150. So 54 times 3. Well, that's going to be 50 times 3, which is 150. 4 times 3, which is 12. 150 plus 12 is 162. So then we subtract here. That'll be 7, 27. We bring that 0 down. Everyone, how many times might 54 go into 270? 5 times? Let's try it out. If we were taking a guess there, just take a guess and just check it out for yourself. 4 times 5 is 20. 5 times 5 is 25. Carry the 2 is 27. Booyah. That does work for sure. That gives us a 5 right there. That's a clean division. Heck yeah. Feeling pretty good. And we're going to put that decimal exactly where it was. So we get 0.35. Everyone, what do we know about the percent when we include it in an equation? Is it actually a percent or is it in what form? Yeah, it's in a decimal form, as you can clearly see, 0.35. So if you want to turn a decimal back into a percent, all you got to do is move that decimal place over 2 times. 1, 2. So the percent is actually 35%. Right, from the left to the right, exactly. From the left to the right. And so there we have it. It is going to be D, 35%. And so I'm going to let you guys go ahead and take a screenshot of this one for sure. But where you want to go for this, again, Unit 4. Write that down for my people in the Arithmetic Reasoning course. They're Unit 4. That's going to be percents. Okay, cool. So it looks like we should have enough time to finish up the last couple. If we have 20 minutes left and we have a little bit to go, is it cool that we don't take the time to try the problem out and I just go through the solution? Cool. Sounds good. Sounds good. But again, guys, the main thing that you want to get out of this problem, the main thing is, again, The percent that you apply is the result that you get. If you understand that, then you can set these proportions up knowing full and well that if the percent you're plugging in represents the discount, that the amount that you're going to get when you do the calculations is going to give you the amount of the discount. So it gives you a really, really good perspective in terms of saying, hey, am I on the right path? Is this going to give me the answer? If not, why? You can have that conversation with yourself. So here we go, my party people. Next one coming up. We got this, man. This is looking pretty good. 3, 2, 1. Here we go. Here's another one. Row geometry. Get to it, my party people. You got this. Just give it your best shot, man. You got this. So to answer your question, Kyle, the math basics sets you up for geometry. Geometry is going to be covered in both the arithmetic reasoning and the math knowledge. So you're good there. Cool. So 4, 3, 2, and 1, my party people. What do we have as the answer? What do we have? What do we have if we try this one out? What do we have? All right, Landa, you said you got okay, cool. Some other people got C, A, 180. Okay, cool. Let's give it a shot here. So, and that was just a joke. Just put A's for a bunch. Cool. So with that, everybody, in one word or one phrase, what are we looking for in this problem? Can you point out what we're looking for as quickly as we can? Yeah, we're looking for the volume. I love you guys. We're looking for the volume, So with that, all right, cool. Sounds good. What is the volume of the rectangular prism? So we are looking for the volume. Cool. Now, with that said, everybody, here's the thing. My biggest piece of advice when it comes to any problem that involves geometry is this. There's a formula. Anytime you're dealing with geometry, there is always a formula to be used. So the moment that you see a pure geometry math word like volume, instantly you need to know what shape am I dealing with, because once I know the shape, I know the formula. Everyone, they tell you that this is a rectangular prism. A rectangular prism, its volume is equal to this. Volume equals length times width times height. If you were freaking out about this problem, this was actually a very quick one, because the length was 3, width was 6, and height was 10. So you plug those numbers in. 3 times 6 times 10. 3 times 6 is 18. 18 times 10 is 180. And that'll be cubic yards. And there it is. Answer's A, and we're done. And that's it. Straightforward, everybody. Again, anytime you're dealing with a geometry word problem, anytime at all, the formula needs to pop up in your head. So that's the advantage that you have when it comes to dealing with geometry word problems. So again, let me write this down here. Geometry word problems. There's always a formula. Always a formula. Always a formula. Okay, make sure you note that. And so very quickly, before I move on, finally knew how to do one of these. It's all good, Dejan. So with that, where to find the extra practice for this? Let me go to the screen behind me. So where you'll go for this one is going to be, check it out here. Just pay very close attention. Notice how we have unit 8, 9, 10, and 11. 8, 9, 10, and 11. All four of these have to do with geometry word problems. What we just worked on was unit 10. This is going to be volume word problems, where we talk about finding volumes of rectangular prisms, working forward, working backwards, finding the volume of one box inside of another, like all these crazy type problems, unit 10. But I split it up into 4 units. That way you can start from area and perimeter, then learn circles separately, then learn volume separately, and then we have more geometry, like looking at angles and points and lines inside of word problems. So my party people, does that make sense? Unit 10 for these word problems that we're going through right now. Unit 10. Great. Sounds good. Sounds good to me. So with that said, let's go ahead and get into this next one here. Boom. And let's dive on in. Go ahead and get started. I'm going to start the timer in a few seconds here because I know y'all might need the extra time on this one. Go ahead. Give it a shot, my party people. Go for it. Limbs, yeah, they definitely can have more questions like this in the ASVAB. Some of them are going to be that simple and straightforward. Some can look like this one right here behind me or on the screen because I'm not on the screen right now. But yeah, there's definitely room for those easy, medium, and hard questions. The majority will be medium, but you will have some easy and some hard. All right, everybody, 2, 1, and time. Hopefully that wasn't terrible for you, but hopefully we can look at this with a smile, knowing that, thank God, this is a practice test. So let's go ahead and take care of business here. And again, remember, this is a practice test. Your goal is not to get the question right. Your goal is to be able to explain how to get the question right. Because if you can explain it, then eventually the idea is during a pressure situation while being timed, you won't be relying on hopes and wishes. You'll be relying on your experience and your know-how so you can take this problem, finish it without hesitation. So let's go and get through this here. This one's gonna be a pretty quick one. This is question number 6, I believe, out of 8. Yep. So here's how we're gonna get this one done. First and foremost, this is gonna be found in unit 5, okay? This is unit 5 of the Arithmetic Reasoning course. So let me write that down first and foremost. Everybody, Unit 5, or this question itself, is what type of question? How would you categorize this? This is a what type of question? Yeah, this is distance, rate, time. Exactly. So this is a distance, rate, time problem. Distance equals rate times time. Sounds good. Now, here's the thing, my math party. Here's the thing. One thing is, well, let's look at the information we have. Because if we first start with the question, it says, how far apart will the planes be after 12 hours? So, everybody, is it true that when we see how far apart and we read terminology like kilometers, 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 is it true that we're looking for the distance? Is it true that we're looking for the distance? Yeah, absolutely. We are absolutely looking for the distance. That's what we want. We want the distance. And in the same question sentence, we see that we are looking at a time frame of 12 hours. So we have time. The time is 12 hours. Okay, so with that, it looks like all we got to do is figure out what the rate is and we're done. Be careful though. Let's read through the question. What does it say? So, two planes starting from the same position begin traveling in opposite directions. Sounds good. Let me let this person in. So, we have starting from the same position, begin traveling in opposite directions. Most people just kind of overlook that. We'll keep reading and we'll say plane A travels at a rate of 690 kilometers per hour and plane B travels at a rate of 966 kilometers per hour. Okay, what is the problem there? First of all, plane A, 690 kilometers per hour. And then plane B, 966 kilometers per hour. What? I see my people that have been in the course, who've been to my classes on distance, rate, time. I see y'all. Exactly. Exactly. So boom, that's the key there. The big key of this problem, for those of you that haven't been to these classes, is this. Let me highlight this in, I use purple, I use green, let me use blue. Opposite directions. That's the big thing there. That's the big thing. If we're traveling in opposite directions, think of it like this, everybody. We're trying to figure out what we're supposed to do with these rates. If these things are moving at the same time, think of it like this. I'm going to say that the hand that you see here, my left hand, I'm going to call this my left hand, even though it's my right. But you see my left hand, you see my right hand, and here's what happens. If with my left hand, I take 2 steps, and then with my right hand, I go ahead and take 3 steps. Everyone, how far apart are my hands? How many steps apart? If this one goes 2 steps and this one goes 3 steps, how far apart are they now? Yeah, 5. That's because if you're going in opposite directions, they're each covering their own ground. And so the total space between them increases. The space between them increases because one's going in one direction and one's going in the other direction. And so you're going to count it all together because they're going opposite ways. If they were going in the same direction, like let's say this person goes 3 and 2, notice how if they're going the same direction, you got to cut off the same direction, the same distance that they already gone. You only count the new distance. But in this case, because we're going in opposite directions, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, you add it together when you're going in opposite directions. So with that said, my party people, right here, we will add the 690 and the 966 to get our true rates. And again, I explain all of this. I know I'm giving you a crash course here, but I explain all of this in the Unit 5 of the Arithmetic Reasoning course. You got that? So if we add these up, 9 plus 6 is 15, carry the 1. 15 plus 1 is 16. So we have 1656. So that's the true rate. The true rate is 1656. They are moving away from each other at that rate of speed. So with that said, my party people, boom, we're good. We're trying to find that distance. we're doing 1656 times 12. And you can actually kind of guesstimate if you want to, because everybody, if you're doing a big number like that times 12, think about it. Is 12 a little more than 10? Is 12 a little more than 10? It is, right? So why would I waste time if this is the ASVAB? Think about it. If this is the ASVAB, why would I go ahead and set this up like this when I know that multiplying by 12 is just like multiplying by 10, then adding on two more of those numbers. So the 1656, two more of those after the fact. But if I'm multiplying by 10, stack a zero. So 16,560, look for the number that's above 16,560. Which number here is just above 16,560? Reasonably so. Yeah, C is reasonably there. I'll take that. That'll be my answer. If the answers were a little closer together and you actually weren't precisely able to tell, then I would recommend going ahead and do the full multiplication, just like this, to prove that you know the right answer. 6 times 2 is 12. 5 times 2 is 10, carry the 1, 11. 6 times 2 is 12, carry the 1 is 13. 1 times 2 is 2, carry the 1 is 3. Next up, 6 times 1, 5 times 1, 6 times 1, 1 times 1. Add it all together. 2, 7, 8, 9, 1. 19,872, which is the exact answer we got. And either way, we would have got that. Hey, AB, now you're good. You're good. You tried, though. You tried. But you tried. But now that you know, so everybody, I'm going to repeat this just like I did in the beginning of class. I remember I told you guys that there are two parts to the solution. There are two parts. There's the, hey, the English side of things, translating the English into the setup, understanding what the keywords mean. And then there's the calculation, the solution, the process, the procedure. So as it stands right now, what are you guys having an easier time with? Are you guys having an easier time translating the English into math, noticing the keywords? Or are we having an easier time with the process, the calculation, the solution? I got you, Dominic. Go ahead. So which one are you guys deeming easier? Do you guys think it's easier to set it up, or do you think it's easier to actually solve? Cool. And I see the large majority of y'all, Dominic, I hope you're good. But I see that the large majority of y'all are saying the calculation, the solution is the easier part. I'm glad. I'm glad you feel that way. Now make sure that when you are practicing, that you are guaranteeing that that's the easiest part. Because the thing is, adding, subtracting, multiplying, dividing, negatives, decimals, fractions, percents, order of operations, solving equations, that is not going to change. The keywords, there are so many more keywords that I can give you, so many more situations, so many nooks and crannies and twisted situations that I can give you. Please, 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 please understand that that's the harder part. The keywords are harder. Make sure that easy stays easy by practicing it over and over and over again. That's the math basics. Okay, guys? So let's go ahead and keep it going here. We got two more left. The next one coming up. Let me get this timer up. Got y'all, man. This is going to be a good time. 3, 2, and let's go. Look at that, 15 more seconds, what party people? 15 seconds. Y'all got this. Get ready to take a guess if you need to. All right, time is up, my party people. That is time. That is time. Let's get after it, man. Let's get after it. What do we have as the answers? What do we have? What do we have? So I'm going to go through this one relatively cool. I'm going to go through this one relatively quickly because I do have one more to go through. So let me go ahead and get everything back into the picture. Booyah, booyah. Cool. So here we go, my party people. This one is going to be part of Unit 6. This is Unit 6. Okay, Unit 6. So Unit 6 deals with solving equations, word problems, okay? This is solving equations, word problems. I'm going to give you a quick crash course on how this works. So everybody, yes or no, do you recognize this? Y equals mx plus b. Do we recognize that? Cool. I'm glad. Y equals mx plus b. This is a staple of algebra. Algebra 1, linear algebra. Like this is it. So let me explain what every part means here. Really quick, when it comes to a word problem, everybody hears what this all means. B represents the beginning amount. Beginning amount. The M represents the slope. And this is also going to be called your rate. And then the X and the Y are connected. The X and the Y basically is the X is your input, your Y is your output. That sounds really, really boring. So the other way you can say it is, hey, Y is the result and X is how long it took to get that result. So what it takes, and I'm just writing this in plain old English. This isn't the formal way to write it, but it's going to be in English. So what it takes to get the results. And if you hear coughing, that is my dog. He's good. Cool. So there it is. Write that down. So Y equals mx plus b. Make sure to write that down. What you want to note the connection on is this. The X and the Y, those are connected. Just like when you see X, Y, and the coordinates, when you're calculating slope or doing a graph, X and Y are connected. They're connected in word problems. X is what you put in. Y is what you get out. The M is how quickly things are happening. And B is the beginning amount. That's really what you need to know. And again, that's going to be Unit 6. Don't forget to write that down. That's Unit 6 in the Arithmetic Reasoning course. That way you can get tackling everything you need to do here. But here we go. Everybody, I'm going to go through the problem, and I want you to point out where it belongs. William is planning on saving money each month for 15 months. Everybody, 15 months. What's that going to be? The Y, the M, the X, the B? Which one is that? 15 months. Which one is that going to be? Remember, M is the slope or the rate, how quickly something's happening. If you're looking at a slope, you need to see the word per for the rate, like $15 per month or 100 miles per hour. I don't see that here. I just see 15 months. Yeah, that's going to be the X because X is usually time. Exactly. This is months. That's X. So I'm going to plug in the 15 right here. If I keep going, and he already has $600 saved. Already has $600 saved. What's that going to be, everybody? Quick. If we already have $600 saved, exactly. Boom, right there. We already have that saved. So it's plus 600. Then with a savings goal of 2,100. Everybody, if the goal is 2,100, where does that belong? That's the result. That's what we're trying to end up at. That's the ending amount. That's going to be right there, 2,100. That is the goal. Boom, 2,100. So what we are looking for, everybody, is the slope. It's the rate. Notice dollars per month, dollars per month, dollars per month. Do you see, can you tell that from the word per, we are looking for the rate? Is that clear, everybody? We're looking for, excellent. So with that, all we have to do is solve this and we're done. All we got to do is solve this. Step 1, subtract 600 from both sides. Once we actually have the setup, this is actually super easy because you do that, boom, gone. And then here we have 1500. M times 15 is the same thing as saying 15M. We divide both sides by 15 and look at that. Booyah. And that's going to end up being 100 equals M. So our friend here, William, is saving $100 per month. Right there. Let me just erase all of this here. William is saving $100 per month. Take your pictures if you need to, but again, this is getting recorded, so you're good. Alex, no, because that is, you're talking about P equals RT. Do you mean distance equals rate times time? If you're doing distance equals rate times time, then the distance would be 1,500 because you're trying to gain 1,500 more dollars. So you could technically, Alex, that would work, but you just have to make sure you know how to plug in the distance. The distance is what you're trying to cover. You already have 600. You're getting to 2,100. So the distance would be 1,500. Gotcha. It always catches you identifying the formulas. I know. This is the same thing as a distance rate time problem, like I said in a second ago, but you can treat this like an equation problem if you'd like to. This last one, I'm not going to let you guys do it because we only have a little bit of time left. But if we're doing this one here, total items is what we're looking for. And we have that there are 72 blue items. So what we're looking for is we have 72 blue. And that means blank total. This is going to be unit 2 again, but this is a harder proportion question, my party people. This is a harder proportion question. This one, it has to do with a total, not just, hey, red, blue. It's green, blue total. But remember, everybody, type it into the chat box as quickly as you can. Type it into the chat box as quickly as you can. What is the main idea for proportions? Go. What is the main idea for proportions? And it was from 15. 1,500 divided by 15 was 100 for the last question. Yeah, compare the same things in the same way, my party people. Compare the same things in the same way. So what we need to understand is that when we set up our proportion, if we have 72 blue, and then you're looking for the total on the bottom, I'll put T for total. You have got to set it up the same way on the other side, everybody. My tip is to always set your proportion up based on the question sentence, if you're going to do it that way. Set it up based on the question sentence, because now that I have blue over total, then I already know on this side over here, I need to do blue over total. Got to do it that way. And so, with that said, let's go ahead and check it out here. What do I have? Well, what I have is there are 24 green to 48 blue. So right there, I have 24 green, 48 blue. Guys, I can use the 48 blue right there. What I cannot do is I cannot put the 24 green there. That's not how that works. Does not work. The simple reason being that, guess what? That's not a spot for green. That's a spot for total. If I want total, I'm going to go ahead and add these. 24 plus 48, that's 72 total. So that's what I'll put there. Compare the same things in the same way, and you can guarantee you got yourself a proportion set up properly. And once you set it up properly, bam, we're good to go. One method is going to be, hey, cross multiply and divide, which no, I'm not going to do that because I'm not going to do 72 times 72 and then divide by 48. Do I look like I like wasting time? No. So what I can also do is I can go ahead and actually simplify the proportion before I continue, which it looks like this. I can take the 48 over 72. 48 and 72 are actually both divisible by what? They're both divisible by 8. And that's exactly what I'll divide by. They're actually both also divisible by 24 if you knew that. But if you didn't, no harm, no foul. I can just divide by 8. And what I'll say there is that we have 72 over t equals 6 over, and that will be 9. And then from there, it's a little bit more doable because then if I wanted to stop here, you don't have to. You can simplify these two sides there too, but I'm not going to confuse anybody. Give yourself an easier time. 6t equals 72 times 9. That'll be 730 plus 18, or 630 plus 18. So that'll be 648. And then now what we'll do is we'll divide both sides by 6. And that'll end up being 108. And there we have that. I know I'm working a little quickly simply because we're running out of time, but A is the answer after we do all that quick math. But again, the calculation side of things, that comes with practice. You'll be able to look at proportions and say, okay, yeah, I can do this. I can simplify here. I can compare horizontally. I can simplify. It'll come up to you with enough practice. But the answer to this one is going to be A. If you did not do the right way for the setup, you would have gotten C. You would have gotten C, but that would have been incorrect. This is a trick answer. That is a trick answer. Yeah, 36 is a trick answer. Because if you would have put the 24 down there that you would have had, you would have believed that you were on the right track. They would put the answer that you would have gotten in there, and you got tricked. Hey, Whitney, since it's a practice test, be happy that you missed one. Be happy that there's something that you can grow from. Because too often, again, it's like, okay, cool, I'm glad you're feeling good. Because like too often, people always look at the raw number of questions that they got right or wrong, when, again, it's a practice test. What means the most in a practice test is your ability to grow from it, not getting the same exact questions correct or incorrect. So I want to make sure you understand that. But with that said, my party people, quick question. Did y'all like this? Did y'all like us going over a practice test? Is this something that you want to see us do more and more and more of? Good, because guess what? For April's class schedule, here's what we're going to do. Every Monday, every free class, we're going to go ahead and do a practice test review. So every week, I'll release a new practice test for you to try. I'll put it up in the course that I'm going to release tomorrow to everybody in the program. And then once we record the class in today's class like this, I'll paste the recording to it, obviously making some edits that I got to make because of some hooligans. But besides that, it'll be available to you 24/7 if you're in the program. So booyah. And so I'm going to send you guys all the details tomorrow. I'll send you a how-to guide on how to access it. It'll be super easy. I'll make it as easy as I can. But yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun moving forward because there's at least 40 weeks left in the year, maybe a little more or less. But if I'm going to be doing a practice test once a week, every week, that's 40 practice tests that you'll have available to you at the end of the year. So, hey, might be a good time. So with that said, my party people, here's what we're going to do, man. We're going to close things off here. I want to thank you guys for showing up. So for those of you who are here and are in the program, remember, sign into your account, do the math basics, and then anything that you're curious about and want to get extra practice in, go into the arithmetic reasoning or math knowledge sections and practice where I told you to. You know, if you have any questions, reach out to me because you know I got your back. So before I let everybody go ahead and write my number down here, 567-698-8867. That's a text-only line, okay? Text only, so feel free to text me if you have any questions at all. For those of you here that are not in the program or want to get more ASVAB training without paying a ton of money, I got your back. So I want to go ahead and take a quick moment to show you how to sign up for the full program if you're interested in it. and how to look at all the details so that way you know how it works. So pretty much for those of you that are sitting here, if this is your first class or second or fifth with me and you're still kind of debating, I want to make it easy for you. If at any point you have suffered test anxiety or just, again, that overwhelming feeling of not being able to do what you know how to do only because you're being timed, that's test anxiety. We can help with that. Number two, if you feel like you blank out on word problems at any time, even though you know the topics, but you just feel like once it comes to word problems, you just don't know what to do, again, that's a problem that's very fixable, but you have to act on it. You can't just say, oh, I hope it's going to get better. No, it takes intention, and I got you on that. Number three, if you feel like you run out of time a lot, when you feel like you just have to guess and there's only 2 minutes left, well, guess what? Timing, we can work on that as you saw in today's class. We can get there. And number four, excuse me, if you're feeling alone going through all of this, if you feel like, hey, man, like, why is it up to me to learn what I have to study, how to study, how do I know when I'm ready? If that's frustrating to you, again, this will help you out. Now, going into the more positive things, if you feel like this class helped you pass or helped you feel like you could pass, if you feel like you want more of this and you want to see everything else that there is to offer and get that support all the way until you pass, yes, this is it. So if you want to just know about our success, like, I'm confident and I'm happy to say that we have helped thousands of students pass the ASVAB, and this has been over the past 4 years. You know, we came from literally nowhere. Like, we came out of nowhere, we looked at the market and we said, hey, we can help people succeed. And this turned into a full-fledged company, and this has been a complete joy to work with you guys literally every single day. So I really want to thank you guys who are still here, who are on the program. You guys have made me everything who I am today in terms of the ASVAB coach I am. So thank you. But long story short, these are some of the reviews of some of my students who have done an outstanding job of following the plan and just taking the responsibility of that work. I line everything up for you. All you got to do is give the effort. And if you want to see more stories just like these folks here, you can't really read that because it's a little small, Google my name, Duran Learning. If you Google Duran Learning, you'll see a little over 150 reviews. Feel free to read any of those reviews. Like, these are all of my students who have had the chance to write about their experience with me. Feel free to take a look. So, how to sign up. Again, what you're going to get is all the classes and all the recordings to make everything super convenient. Then you're going to have over 15,000 practice questions for word knowledge, paragraph comprehension, math knowledge, and arithmetic reasoning, and general science. I'm going to make it even easier for you by giving you step-by-step solutions, video solutions, worksheets, flashcards, speed drills, practice tests, everything you need. Even a progress book, an online progress book that's customized to you and reacts every time you complete an assignment. It's all there for you. And you can text me whenever you need help, anytime. I don't care if it's 4 a.m. Yes, I'm human. Yes, I have a life. My phone will not be on me at 4 a.m., but once I'm up, I'll reply. So don't feel bad about texting me at midnight or 2 a.m. Doesn't matter to me. I'll help you as soon as I'm available. I got your back. So to sign up my party people, for those of you that have stayed here this long, I got to go ahead and hook you up with a nice discount. So the everyday low price, other tutors are charging like $200 a month. I don't really agree with that. So I'm only going to charge you $60 a month and you can cancel whenever. For those of you that want to study for longer than 2, 3, 4 months, and you know that with the time you can get this score that you want and the job you want, then I really recommend going with the year or the lifetime bundle. And to convince you, I'm going to put up a honestly ridiculous discount for both of these. So the year, you can take $150 off using the code year150. And that's all together, no spaces. And for $200 off the lifetime, you can use the code LT200. So you can use year150, all caps, or you can use LT200 to get $200 off the full year. But again, everyday low price of $60 is available to you at any time. And there it is. Everything you need. All the classes, all the practice, all the support, all the way until you pass. So go ahead and avoid all that confusion of studying by yourself and all that frustration, and sign up now and get rid of all that. Pass the ASVAB, get the score you want, the job you deserve, and that bonus check that we all want, right? So go ahead and get all that for yourself and for your family. I'm going to go ahead and answer a few questions here in the chat box, and I'm going to leave this up for you, but the link is there. Go to asvab.info/classes. Then you're going to click sign up and raise your score. And then you pick a plan and you sign up. So I'll put the link in the chat box, and then I'm going to read through and answer a few of the questions here. I got y'all. So there's you can copy and paste that if you'd like to in your browser. Or you can go ahead and click that hyperlink there. So you can do the monthly, which is 60. I'm going to copy this into YouTube as well. The year, you can use the code year 150 to get 150 bucks off the full year. Or you can go ahead and use the code LT200. And again, this is for life. You will have access to everything I have to offer for as long as this company is my company. So it'll be forever, basically. So, and then the lifetime will be LT200 for $200 off. Boom. So there it is, my party people. Again, I want to just continue offering my support because everything that we have built has become because of y'all. Like, y'all have made these suggestions. Y'all have asked me to do certain things. And every time y'all speak together, we can create amazing things. So I'm going to go ahead and answer some of these questions here. Dominic, I never got your picture with your hoodie on. So send me that picture with the hoodie and I'll gladly put you on the website, man. I got you. JJ, my last tutor charged you $200 for 4 days. Exactly. For 4 days? That's criminal, man. Like, you don't need that. You really don't need that. So I'm really sorry that that happened. Shouldn't have been the case. Yeah, exactly. Like, most tutors will charge you anywhere between $30 and $80 per hour. I'm charging you $60 for a full month. So it's 24 hours of classes for $60. You get the recordings, you get all the materials, you get the study guides, and you get to text me in between classes. So yes, it is a very ridiculous discount, and that's only because I know how to run a business. Hey, Eric, absolutely, man. I'm glad I can boost your confidence. That's what it's all about, man. It's about being able to relax your shoulders and say, yeah, I got this. That's what it's all about. Flo, you're ready. Or you're welcome. You're ready. Oh, you will. Give it time. Give it time. Practice. You got this. We all gonna pass for sure. Exactly, man. You got to have the confidence and the faith in it. Whitney, have a good night too. Absolutely. No, shoot me the text right now, Whitney. That way, the first thing that I log in tomorrow morning, first thing, I'll go ahead and answer your question. I have about, since the class started, yeah, we definitely have a few texts sitting here. So, Whitney, I would say I could get back to you no later than 10 a.m. tomorrow morning. It's quite a few messages, but I'll make sure to just look at yours up top if you text me right now. I got you. I'll get back to you by 10 a.m. Fire him. Landed, thank you for the kind words here. You've been in the program for a week and it's been super helpful. So you recommend it 100%. Coach A has been a special way of explaining things. I've watched a lot of YouTube videos until I got to his channel and started joining free classes and then decided to join his program. And I don't regret it. He's born to be a teacher. I appreciate that. Appreciate that. I'm gonna be honest, coach, could charge much more. I know I could charge more, man. Like, I know I could charge. I've seen what other companies charge and I don't feel good doing that. Have I ever wanted to join the military? I actually did have a curiosity with becoming an Air Force sniper. That was always a curiosity of mine growing up. But then discovering some things about my health, that kind of squandered the opportunity. But it did not stop me from becoming the best person I can be. So still thankful for that. Hey, Keon, thanks for that. Hey, Dominic, I hope you're okay, man. That sucks. Sorry about that. Car accidents aren't fun. Hey, you won't look like a clown, man. You were looking like a clown before the accident, so I don't know if it makes you look better or what, but that is Nelly. Hey, thank you for coming in. I appreciate you. I appreciate you. Nelly, thanks for the kind words. I appreciate that too. Coach will have his own Khan Academy. I'm hoping to. We've actually begun finalizing plans to expand the company into the other test prep formats. We have to separate everything because the ASVAB is the only thing we're going to be running live classes for, but we're actually starting to make videos and content for a bunch of other things that we're going to be pushing out on a separate YouTube channel and a separate website. Ooh, now I know airbags hurt, man. I'm glad you're good. Glad you're alive. And JJ, sounds good. Text me once you pass it. And remember that once you pass it the first time, I want you to do it again. Prove that you can pass it again. Because if your heart is racing that first time you're trying to get that passing score on that speed drill, that nervousness, I promise you, the second time you try to do it, like let's say you pass it and your heart's racing, do it again. You're going to be so much more relaxed. You'll probably do even better, so much easier than before. I promise you. It's all about helping control your heart rate while you're in high pressure situations. That's something that if you're going to be in infantry or if you're trying to be in special forces, you're going to learn a lot about in terms of keeping calm under pressure in any capacity, really, but none more than being in combat. But this, practicing this skill now, remaining calm under pressure, is something that will translate into everything in life. So definitely do it again after you pass. Show yourself that it wasn't luck, that you know exactly what you're doing, and this doesn't scare you in any sense of the word. I got you, JJ. You know I like you, man. I text you back always. I got you. I mean, I'm not saying I don't text certain people back. I text everybody back. But there are certain students that, like, when I'm going down the list and replying to everybody, if you text back, I'm going to go right back to you real quick because you guys have been showing that you are here, you're willing, you are putting yourself first, you're trying to make this happen, and I'm not going to get in the way of that. So I appreciate you putting in the work, JJ. Absolutely appreciate you putting in the work. Landa, absolutely. Because here's the thing, Landa, not everything takes the same amount of time to learn. Some days, hey, if you're doing proportions, you might be able to get that in 1 or 2 study sessions. But if you're doing something crazy like system of equations, that might take you 4 days, 5 days to finally feel like you know what's going on. Then an extra week to build up the speed. It takes time. Definitely takes time. Do not, don't get down about taking longer for one thing than another. Just know that the more time you spend, the more progress you make, as long as you're being intentional about it. Hey, Dom, man, appreciate it. You have a good one, man. Yeah, I got you. So with that said, everybody, I'm going to put the link up one more time. I'm going to go ahead and grab this right over here. Here's the link to the full program, my party people. There you go. And then let me put this up on the YouTube channel. Boom. So there's that link again for y'all in the chat box, my party people. Again, this recording for y'all on YouTube will only be up for maybe 2 days, 3 days. I'm going to take this down by Wednesday, Thursday, because this is going to be part of a practice test course that I'm building that is part of the program. Again, if you're already in the program, you're not paying any extra. So go ahead and take advantage of the offer tonight, or by tomorrow morning latest. I'll take down the discount codes. But I want to make sure you take advantage of these opportunities, especially since you took the time to be at class tonight. So again, my name's Coach Anderson. Absolutely love y'all, man. You guys have been so much fun to work with. I'll put this up there in case you want to use the QR code as well. But here it is. There's my phone number. If you have any questions at all about raising your score or using the program, or just want to introduce yourself to me while you continue studying, go ahead, reach out to me. I got y'all's back, man. I'm really proud of the way that you guys have handled yourselves, and make sure that you're always looking for the next step forward. So with that, again, my name is Coach Anderson. I love y'all. Have a great evening. And this was probably the best class that I've run in a while, all things considered. You guys have a good one. Peace out. Let's Ace the ASVAB. Cheers, guys.